Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to wait for some others to join. I know that it is difficult for sometimes people to get on the live stream, but that's okay. I'm going to actually go ahead and start. Obviously, I'm in the car. Um, but since tonight is kind of a quick overview, shouldn't be more than 10 minutes. Tonight's topic is on boosting confidence and overcoming dating anxiety for women over 30. So, I previously did one for men, now I'm doing one for women. So, I hope that this is helpful. So, I'm going to give you a few tips to kind of overcome the dating anxiety for women. And a lot of times, so one second. I'm going to see if I can actually give the link to the other people that are joined. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay. So hopefully my mic is still working. The trials of having it live. So I'm going to keep going. I know that some people are still coming in. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. uh, if you cannot hear me or see me, put something in the chat. But if you can hear me, okay, then make sure to also put it in the chat, just so that I know everyone can hear me, because I can't see everyone on my end of the screen. Okay. I see some people telling me that they're here and everything's okay. All right. So now I'm going to start. This is very quick. I usually give a kind of mini class for these lives. Also gives people a chance to ask me certain questions. Um, you're not publicly on view, so I get to see who's in the room if you want to stay anonymous. But I'm going to give you some tips on kind of overcoming anxiety, especially if you are over 30 and a woman. If there's gentlemen in this course as well, which there might be a few from what I can see, then it's perfectly okay as well for you guys to listen. So, first off, I definitely love talking about this first topic, which is confidence. I know a lot of us have trouble with confidence. And one of the things that you can do to kind of overcome your dating anxiety is really to practice self care. And when I talk about self care, I'm not talking about like going to get a facial or getting your nails done. You should be doing that anyways. When I'm talking about self care, I'm talking about like listening to your body, listening to when it's time to rest, um, you know, even examining like what you're eating and what you're doing to your body. And that's part of self care. Also, maybe it's not okay for you to have 3 or 4 dates a week. Maybe you can only go out once a week. Everyone's kind of social capacity and socialization is different, and that's okay. So, my first tip for overcoming anxiety for women in dating is really focus on self care and what you can do to kind of help your body and your mind kind of at ease. And usually, when that occurs, when you practice more self care, you're going to naturally have more self confidence. Um, as they say, people who put more time into not just their appearance, but kind of nurturing, I call it their soul, they usually are more confident. So, first and foremost, self care is definitely the first tip. Number two, especially when you're in I call it the woos of the beginning of love, when you're just starting the dating process. And as with women, you should always be getting wooed and charmed by men, especially in the early days. Then you want to set realistic expectations. And I always tell women, this is not a Bridgerton TV show. Bridgerton is amazing. I use that analogy because it's fun and it's a fantasy, but that's not reality. Looks like I have some more people. Um, and you want to make sure that you're setting realistic expectations for your date and your dating life currently. So let's say you're 35, you want to get married, you want to have children. I've had women in the past as clients tell me, hey, I want to get married and have children by next year. And then I'm like, are you dating anyone? And they're like, no. So already that's setting a kind of unrealistic view and unrealistic expectation. Yes, it does happen sometimes, but it's very likely that it may not happen in that capacity. So maybe setting a realistic expectation that I just want to find a partner, a relationship, a committed relationship by the end of the year. That's a realistic expectation. Or I only want to date men who fit my standard of living and treat me with respect. That's a realistic expectation. So do not have, I call them delusions of grandeur, where you're expecting the 6 foot guy who makes 200,000 a year to have no kids and be single and worship you like a goddess to be coming at your door immediately. Um, that may not happen. So I think everyone should always focus on realistically what can be achieved in your dating life currently, and little steps. So if you want to get married and have children, that will happen one day if you put the work in. But in order to do that, you have to be dating the right people, and setting that kind of, I call it the standard that you should have. Next, you should also be practicing mindfulness and relaxation. As a woman, I'm aware that we are all very stressed. Women actually don't do well in stressful scenarios. They've kind of studied this. Men are naturally biologically kind of able to handle more stress sometimes than women. We're naturally nurturers. We're, comforting, beings. Um, but we also need more rest. We actually need more sleep sometimes than men, because, we were biologically designed to have children. So it takes a lot to be a nurturer. It takes a lot to nurture, whether it's your family, your friends, or your partner or potential partners. So I want you to start practicing some relaxation techniques, whether it's grounding, meditation, even taking a bath and just giving yourself some time to just focus on you, and really kind of turn inward into what you want. But a lot of times with anxiety, we're so stressed out about the outside world and things that are kind of out of our control that, kind of like the car that I'm in, it's quiet, and I get a little bit of me time. So anything that you can do to kind of start your day, I like to get up and at least try to write something every day. That's kind of my form of meditation. So whatever it is that calms you down, you should be practicing that. I always tell clients, if you are very anxious about dating, or before a date, maybe practice those mindful relaxation techniques before you go on a date. So if your date's in the evening, maybe in the afternoon, taking some time, having a meditation time, or just having, maybe you need 20 minutes of silence to kind of calm down. Whatever it is that works for you, you need to be practicing that kind of on a regular basis to just kind of calm your mind down. Uh, Next, which I think is one of the most important ones, which is the last one before I start opening up to questions, is boundaries. I feel like a lot of times when we're stressed out, we're anxious, we aren't able to express ourselves and say, hey, we need to have some boundaries. So, if you don't want to be treated a certain way, I always tell people, in order to be treated with respect and how you want to be treated, you have to tell people and show them how to treat you. No one knows how to treat you. You have to basically explain, these are my boundaries. This is the behavior that's okay. This behavior I'm not going to deal with. Um, and that I think is really important because it sets a precedent where you get to think about your boundaries. You get to think about what is important to you in dating. Maybe you want to go slow. Maybe you don't want to get intimate right away. That's perfectly fine. You need to state that and why it's important to you. And if somebody doesn't respect that or wants to change that, then you definitely need to end the relationship or end the courtship if it's early and move on. But definitely, I feel there are a lot of women that are not able to have boundaries early on because sometimes we're thinking, I'm going to miss out if I, am with the person and I really like them, and our emotions get kind of overloaded with this, and we're not thinking straight. So I usually tell women, you know, get a little notepad or put it in your phone under notes and write down, what are your boundaries? What are your top 5 boundaries that, you have to have when you're dating people? And that kind of sets kind of, I call it like golden rule, the golden standard of how you should be dating based upon you. Nobody can tell you how to date. These are all just guidelines and things I think that hopefully will help you get over that anxiety when you're going either back into the dating scene, or if you've been in the dating scene for a while, hopefully some of this is helpful. All right, so that is my section where I talk about some tips on how to overcome anxiety for dating for women. If anyone has any questions, now would be the time before I close the actual um, live stream. So if you have a question and you want to ask privately, make sure to click the private chat and then I can read it. So if anyone has a question, just message me. I'll wait a couple minutes before I go. Okay, so no one has any questions. Wait. Oh, so someone wrote, what should you wear on the first date? So the first date, I always say, is similar to a job interview, right? You want your best self forward. So you want to be definitely sexy, but not too sexy. So I always say, show one asset, don't show everything. If your legs are your asset, show your legs. If your your breasts are your asset, your cleavage, show your cleavage. Show one asset in a tasteful way, but don't overdo it with completely too much in terms of overly sexy. And you also don't want to dress boring. You want to dress like how you would normally dress in terms of style. But you want to be romantic and tease them a little bit. So that's kind of the whole point. And they should be dressing, in terms of guys, well too. It also depends on where you're going. So I had a friend who was dating a guy. The first date they ever went on was a golfing event. Um, and so she had never been golfing, so she had to find a golfing outfit to end up, kind of on this first date. So she still looked like her, but whatever she wore fit kind of the place that they were going. So I would say at least find out where you're going. The guy should be kind of planning the date. And if it's just drinks or, appetizers or dinner, I would just wear something, like I said, cute, sexy, not overdo it. Nothing that you would have for extreme, like special occasion, but a little bit more than what you would wear kind of for work, depending on your work. Okay. Yeah, same thing for if you're at a speed dating event, it should be the same. So, I always say, dresses are easy. Every girl looks great in a dress. Just find the one that hugs your assets. Um, and then if that doesn't work, cute top, jeans is fine for a first date, casual date. And then some heels. So I'm wearing right now flip flops. I would not advise you to wear flip flops on a first date. But yeah, put some cute makeup on, do your hair, um, and make sure that your outfit at least has something cute and sexy for you. Um, but obviously don't overdo it. So can't go wrong with a black dress or your favorite color dress, sundress, or just cute top and nice jeans and some cute heels or sandals. So I hope that helps. If anyone else has any questions, let me know. If not, then I'm going to end the live stream, mainly also because it's getting kind of dark. So I hope this is helpful. Again, I'm on every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And my next one is, I believe, on the Big O. So we're talking more about pleasure and orgasms and all fun things of intimate nature. So hope you guys have a great week. And I am available for one-on-one coaching. I only take a limited amount of clients for actual coaching. I'm also starting a group coaching for singles very shortly. That's really affordable. Group coaching is like a third of what most like one-on-one coaching is. So group coaching will start in July and run for about 3 months. And there'll be a bunch of goodies in there and some freebies. But that one starts at $99 a month, which is pretty much a steal. So if you're interested, you either have my email or my contact information. If not, then if you bought this on Eventbrite, you have it, then just email me at lovetalk, LUVTLK at gmail.com. So hope you guys have a great night. I will see you back here next Monday if you would like to come back. Thanks.